Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you all are doing amazing and that you're staying safe and staying sane at the same time. So I'm super excited about today's video. I am going to be speaking about the Proverbs 31 woman. I know we've had so much about her, especially if you're a Christian and a believer. We've had so much advice about her. We've had so much about that woman who's extremely praised in the Bible. And I'm going to be speaking about 10 powerful lessons you can learn from the Proverbs 31 woman. And how we're going to be doing it, I'm going to read out the chapters, the chapter, and I'm going to explain to you, picking out each and every lesson that we're going to speak about today. So I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video. So please stay tuned for more of this. So guys, for those who might not know this, the Proverbs 31 woman, it comes from Proverbs chapter 31 from verse 10 to verse 31. It's not the full chapter, it's just basically from verse 10 to verse 31. And this woman is very exceptional. I think it's for me, I usually say I really want her to be my standard of how a good wife should be, or how a good woman should be in the society, because this is basically God speaking to us and telling us, you know what, this is what I want for you women, and this is what I think women should be. So let's start with the first verse 10. The title is In Praise of a Good Wife, and it says, a truly good wife is the most precious treasure a man can find. Her husband depends on her and she never lets him down. That's the first point, my guys. So her husband depends on her and she never lets him down. The first lesson, or the first powerful lesson from the Proverbs 35 woman, is a woman needs to be dependable and reliable. Guys, I cannot even begin to explain this enough, because first of all, this traverses all segments of life, be it your job, be it your family, be it your friendships, be it you being a neighbor. If it's a neighbor, you being a sister, you being a brother, you being a friend. A woman needs to be very dependable and reliable. The people who you call your friends, the people who you call your family, need to know that they can always rely on you, that they can always depend on you, that you will never let them down. When they need a hand, when they need help from you, they need to know that you can always you're always dependable. If it's at work, are you the kind of person who people never like to give work because they always feel like I always give Sharon Ngugi work but she never does it? Are you the kind of person who's always excellent at what you do, and you ensure that every time you're given a certain job to do, you ensure you do it and you deliver the job according to the timelines you've been given? So I think that's the first thing you need to learn as a woman. For you to even become anything, or to even succeed in anything you want to do, you need to learn how to be very dependable. You need to learn how to be very reliable. Like, let people always know they can always count on you to do whatever it is whatever it is they think you could do. Like, don't leave people with doubts of, okay, if we give her this kind of thing, will she be able to do it? And I think when you do that, you really end up succeeding, especially even in the corporate world, because you will learn, you'll be the first top of the mind of everyone. Anytime they want to do something, they'll think about you. So that's the first thing. A woman needs to be dependable and needs to be reliable. Let's go on. Verse 12, it says, she is good to him every day of her life, and with her own hands she gladly makes clothes. She is like a sailing ship that brings food from across the sea. She gets up before daylight to prepare food for her family and for her servants. She knows how to buy land and how to plant a vineyard, and she always works hard. So from that particular segment, I can draw 3 lessons from it. So the first lesson is, as a woman, you really need to learn how to do everything you do with passion. Like, life is all about live your life compassionately. And I think the verse 13 is what explains that. And it says, with her own hands, she gladly makes clothes. Gladly means you do it with joy, you do it with passion. You don't do it because you're being forced to do it. You do it because you love to do it. And I think everything that you do with passion always ends up succeeding. Whatever it is you're doing, if it's taking care of your family, if it's your business, if it's your career life, whatever it is you're doing, as long as you put in passion into the mix, imagine you end up succeeding in a way that you did not even expect. And I think as a woman, generally women, we are considered to be life-giving creatures, or nurturing creatures, because that is even seen with the fact that we are able to nurture a baby in our wombs for 9 months, and after that you're able to just be a mother to a child. And some of these things don't have, like, it's like innate, like it's like something that you were born with, and that's why you find men do not nurture children, or they don't give birth to children because of that. So I think as a woman, if you find a woman who's passionate about something, I feel like she's an unstoppable force. A woman needs to be very passionate, and I'm always saying, whatever it is you're doing, if you're a missionary, for example, you've decided to give your life to just service to God and to mankind, if you do it with passion, you'll always do it and excel. If you're a leader, if you're a politician, as long as you're doing whatever it is you're doing with passion, like passion is like the secret ingredient to ensure that you succeed in whatever it is you're doing. So as a woman, for you to be very exceptional, or for you to do so much, you need to have passion. Like you need to love what you're doing. And I think I love Yami Mami so much, because she's usually very passionate about what she does. And I was actually watching a live where she was speaking about marriage and all the things she's learned, and you can tell she was even saying that she's sweating because she has so much passion and she's speaking so loudly and with so much energy. And I think it's very, very important for all of us to just develop passion. Let's love what we're doing. And I think also another thing is, sometimes you can grow passion. Like you don't have to be born with it. Like for example, you might find someone who's in a job that they don't like. Maybe circumstances did their thing, or life did its thing, and you ended up in a job that you do not like. Imagine if you can cultivate an attitude of passion. You can develop passion for whatever it is you're doing, by just being positive and ensuring that you just surround yourself with positive energy and positivity every day, all day, every day. So that's the second thing. A woman needs to be passionate. If you're going to do anything, or if you're going to be anyone in life, you really need to be passionate about life, about people, about your career, about your relationship, your marriage, and your kids. So the other thing is, we see it from the part for hardworking. That's the third thing. You guys, like, I cannot stress this enough. I think as a woman, you don't have an option. Like laziness and womanhood cannot be placed on the same WhatsApp group or cannot be placed on the same platter. They're two very parallel things. Like a woman cannot afford to be lazy. And I think I always say, women, we have so much on our plate. Like, as in everything that happens in our lives is, we've been, you see, people usually say that women are able to multitask, and I think it's because as women, even from the moment you're a child, there's so much that's usually on your plate. You get to do so much with your life, as in you're able to plan so many things in your head, and you're able to execute them well. And I think for a woman, if you're not hardworking, honey, you're going to suffer, because first of all, in the century we're living, or in the times we're living in, we already know that the girl child has taken so much struggle to get to the point that she's at right now. The girl child has struggled to create a name for herself, to create a space for herself at the table in this corporate world, in business, and all of that. We know how the girl child has struggled. So as a girl or as a woman, you cannot afford to be lazy. Things don't just happen. You're not just served things on a silver platter. You have to go out there and get it. You have to always push yourself. You have to wake up every day and always tell yourself that, you know what, today is a new day. I'm going to try again, and I'm going to ensure that I'm able to achieve my goals. I'm going to ensure that I'm able to just put food on the table, because at the end of the day, as a woman, like even if you're married, I'm not married, but I've seen and I've heard people say that as a woman, you are the owner of the home. You take care of the home. And that's why even the Bible says that she wakes up to go and get food for her family, because so yeah, as a woman, being hardworking is not something that you can bargain with. I think you really need to go out there and get it. Whatever it is you want to do, like you can't afford to just give up after the first try. You can't just afford to just say, you know what, it's not working. As a woman, you just have to push. You have to have thick skin. You have to always tell yourself, you know what, tomorrow will be another day. We shall live to fight another day. We shall live to be able to just make it work, whatever it is. So be hardworking. That's the third thing. You really just have to be hardworking, whatever department. If it's at your home, if it's in your friendships, if it's in your relationship, marriage, career, everything, you just gotta be hardworking, girl. You gotta be hardworking. And even in verse 17, it just says it perfectly, like, and she always works hard. Like, you just have to always, like, there's no for resting at you. Okay, you have to rest. I think don't take it the wrong way. I think one thing I've also been seeing on social media is women, especially who are married, or who are saying that, you know what, it's okay to get help. It's okay. You don't have to kill yourself in the name of being a good wife or in the name of being a good woman. Like, Getting help is wise. As a woman, you need to know when you've reached your elastic limit or when you're burnt out, so that you can be able to get help. Because first of all, we need you healthy, or you need to be very sane for you to be able to do anything well. So yeah, it doesn't mean that now you go and work yourself out like a donkey. No. You need to know when to rest. You need to know when to work hard, and you need to know when to plan yourself. So verse 18. She knows when to buy or sell, and she stays busy until late at night. She spins her own cloth, and she helps the poor and the needy. So from those verses, we can get 2 points. So the first point is, a woman needs to learn her money. Sis! You need to learn how to invest, you need to learn how to save, you need to plan your finances, and you need to be financially independent. Like, I cannot even begin to explain the importance of this. Like, as a woman, and I think one thing my mom always tells me, my dear, if there's one thing, if you can forget everything I've ever told you about marriage and about relationships, remember this. As a woman, you have to have your own money. You have to be financially independent. And this does not mean that you do not allow your husband to do stuff in the house, or you do not allow your boyfriend to take care of you and take you out on dates. It does not mean in any of that. But as a woman, you need to know that you have your own security. You have your own financial security. Like, you have savings, you know where your money goes, you know when to invest and when not to invest. And I think even the Bible says she knows when to buy and when to sell. What does that mean basically? It's all about investments. It's all about being sharp. It's all about understanding the seasons. Like, it's like, for example, right now it's a pandemic all over the world. So right now is the perfect time to buy. For example, if it's shares, whatever it is you need to buy right now, this is stock. It's the perfect time to buy this, so that when the economy begins to pick up, you're able to sell it and make profit from it. And even the Bible is just telling us that, like a very wise woman needs to be sharp with her finances. You need to know when to buy, you need to know when to sell, because this, you have to be, you have to be at the forefront. Sometimes you might find you're the one who ends up planning a lot of things in the house, because sometimes men are not able to do that, because probably either they are spendthrifts, so they just don't focus too much. They go out there, make the money, and bring the money to you. So if you're there and you're just seated and waiting, and you don't even know how to work around things, you'll be taking your family back. Yeah. So that's another thing. You need to be financially independent, work hard to have your own money, like save up so that you can have savings. If anything happens, anything could happen. Like, you always need to have, for example, an emergency fund. Like, emergency funds, as financial analysts will tell you, is like, I think 3 months worth of savings that can sustain you if you were to lose your job today. Have enough money saved somewhere that can sustain you for 3 months for 6 months without having to change your lifestyle. So that's what emergency funds is all about. And then the other thing is, she helps the poor and the needy. Like, that's what we spoke about, dependent and reliable. We spoke about a woman needs to be passionate about whatever it is she's doing. We've spoken about a woman needs to be hardworking. That's the third one. And we've also spoken about a woman needs to be financially independent. That's the fourth one. So the fifth one is she helps the poor and the needy. A woman needs to be compassionate. You guys, compassion is having that heart of helping, having that heart of just, making someone else's life better. I think there's so many people out here who are going through so many things, so many issues, so many struggles, so many people who do not have homes, so many people who are just struggling in one way or the other. I think as a woman, you need to learn how to be compassionate. And I think when you have Christ in your heart, when you have the Holy Spirit in you, it just becomes automatic. There's just a way some things just flow in your life, and you don't even have to work so hard to getting to that point, or to getting to be like that. So you need to be compassionate. You need to go out there and help the needy. And even in the book of James, you're told that true religion is saying when you take care of the widows and the orphans, and and you feed the hungry and the needy people. So we could be out here and we're saying that we're Christians, we are believers, we're born again people, but we don't even care about our neighbors. We don't even care about the needy people. We don't even care about the beggars on the streets. And I think one thing you need to know is just do your part, whatever it is. If you're going to change one person's life, if you're going to change 10 people's lives, if you're going to change 20 people's lives, whatever it is, as long as you're doing something, I think, to me, God looks at that and he just appreciates you and he just rewards you for that. So tenda mema nenda zako. So that's compassion. That's the fifth point. So let's go on with the verses. Verse 21, her family has warm clothing and she doesn't worry when it snows. She does her own sewing and everything she wears is beautiful. So first of all, let's talk about her family has warm clothing and she doesn't worry when it snows. And good woman or a woman needs to be a planner. You need to know how to plan. And I think that verse speaks about that. Like, for example, things shouldn't catch you by surprises, especially if it's things that have been happening with a certain trend. They should never catch you by surprise. For example, December, for example, for example, December is usually a short rain season. You should not get to December and then you're wondering, hey, my kids don't have sweaters, my kids don't have this, my kids don't have that. And another thing is also when it comes to your menstrual cycle, I think as a woman, as long as you're not struggling with irregular periods, you need to learn your cycle. You need to download apps that are going to help you track your menstrual cycle. Don't just be caught by surprise, like you're just in a meeting, you're in a boardroom meeting, you stand up and you've soiled your seat because you were just careless, you didn't care about your dates, you didn't care about your menstrual period. Like, a woman needs to be a planner. You got to plan. If it's your dreams, write down your dreams. What are the dreams? What are the things you want to achieve in 2021? What are the things you wanted to achieve in 2020? Do you have a vision board? Whether you have it practically, like, or on a board, or you've done some certain notes on your phone, whatever it is, do you have a plan for your life? When do you want to get married, for example? When do you want to have kids? When do you want to do your masters? When do you want to study? When do you want to work on your body goals? When do you want to do all of that? As a woman, you can't afford to live your life just like that, like without any plan. I know that there are people who will come and tell me I'm not a planner, but you see, some of these things you learn on the job. Like, you're a woman, sis. You just have to learn how to plan yourself, whatever it is. If it's meeting up with your girlfriends, meeting up with your boyfriend, meeting up, doing your work duties, your career life, like, you really need to plan. Because when you don't plan, you're planning to fail. Simple. Like, you just have to be a planner. That's the 6th point. The 7th point is coming from verse 22, and it says, she does her own sewing and everything she wears is beautiful. A woman needs to take care of herself. Can I hear an amen? Can I hear an amen? So I think that's the 6th point. A woman you need to take care of yourself. Like, you need to love yourself. Like, so I'll say the 6th point is self-love and self-care. Whatever that means to you. For people, it's very different. For some, it's sleeping, taking an afternoon nap. For some, it's going out for shopping with your friends. For some, it's going on a date. For some, it's planning a trip and going on a solo date, treating yourself to lunch. For some, it's taking just having makeup on and wearing a pretty dress and doing your nails and watching a movie of your choice, listening to music. Whatever it is, a woman needs to put herself first. Like, you need to love yourself. Whatever that means to you, you really just need to learn how to love yourself. Regardless of whatever it is you could be going through, you need to always remind yourself that if you do not love yourself, you cannot afford to love anyone else. You see, we even told, love your neighbor as you love yourself. For you to wear beautiful things, for you to sew beautiful things for you, you have to love yourself at first. So as a woman, self-love is paramount. It's not something that we can bargain about. No. Self-love is very, very paramount to every single woman out there. So that's the 6th point. You have to love yourself and you have to take care of yourself. And you said this thing about amejiachilia. For example, if you get married or you just get to a point and you feel like so much is going on in your life and you just forget about yourself, even the Bible, it's biblical to always ensure you're looking beautiful and to always ensure that you're just on your A game. So that's the other point. So the 7th point is in verse 23. Her husband is a well-known and respected leader in the city. Her husband is a well-known and respected leader in the city. I think you guys, her husband is a well-known and respected leader in the city. She makes clothes to sell to the shop owners. She is strong and graceful as well as cheerful about the future. So let's speak about the verse for her husband is well known. I think I've watched a couple of Miles Monroe's videos where he speaks about marrying right and just having the right partner. And I think when it comes to this, it's a matter of having the wisdom to choose your life partner. And for this particular case, I'm going to be speaking about women who actually want to get married, because I'm very cognizant that there are certain women who are really not bothered about that. But for women who want to get married, I think it was Miles Monroe who once said that 90% of your happiness or 90% of your misery will be found in the life partner you choose. So a woman who is another thing a woman needs to have in the verse, and the seventh powerful lesson about a woman is a woman needs to have the wisdom to know the wisdom was the right partner. Get it? And you see, this wisdom only comes from God. This wisdom only comes from the Holy Spirit. And I think women need to be very, very careful about the people they choose to spend the rest of their lives with, because these people will either help you achieve your purpose or they'll destroy you. You need to be very, very keen on it. You need to be very intentional about it. You just don't stumble upon relationships and you accept to be there. You, as a woman, you need to own your life. You need to take charge of your life, take charge of your relationships, take charge of your future, because if you have God, I'm sure as long as God is within you, and that's my tattoo here, Psalm chapter 46 verse 5, as long as God is within you, you shall not fall. He will help you at the break of day. So when it comes to choosing a life partner, so that's the 7th point. A woman needs to have wisdom, because you see, this verse speaks about her husband is well known and respected leader in the city. For her to have such a husband, she must have chosen right? So you need to have the wisdom and this traverses across all different areas of our lives. You need to have the wisdom to make the right choices, be it in your eating habits, be it in your financial aspect, be it in your relationship, because you always need to remember that whoever you decide to get married to will either inspire you, build you, or grow you, or will destroy you completely. So that's the 7th powerful point. Let's go on. So she makes clothes to sell to the shop owners. She is strong and graceful, as well as cheerful about the future. The 8th point, a woman needs to have grace. Guys, a moment of silence. Like, I cannot even explain the beauty. Have you ever just met a woman who's just gracious? Not gracious, who's just graceful? Like, being around her is just an amazing aura. It's just an amazing presence. Like, a woman a woman needs to have grace, and I think grace is given by God, and also grace is something that you can cultivate on your own. Grace is just being, those people who are just pleasant to be around. Like, those people who you look at and you spend time with them and you're just like, I just love being around so and so. I just love being around this person. Someone who's very calm and collected. Someone who's confident in who they are, and they don't have to put anyone down so that they can feel like they are higher than anyone. A woman needs to have grace, and I think one of the women that I really admire for this is Grace Msalame. Like, I just watch her stories, I watch her videos, even in the way she speaks, even in the way she articulates herself, even in the way she does her stories on Instagram, her pictures on Instagram, her comments, her captions on Instagram. They're just full of grace. Like, she just lives according to her name, to be honest. Grace Msalame. Like, when you just see Grace Msalame, you just see grace. That's a woman who's been graced. So that's the 8th point. A woman needs to be graceful. Like, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you address people. Are you a comfortable space to be around? Or when people are around you, what kind of vibes do you usually bring out to them? Like, are you the kind of person who people don't want to be around because either it's always fighting, it's always issues after issues? What kind of aura do you have? What kind of personality are you? You need to have grace. So that's the 8th point. Let's keep going. So verse 26, her words are sensible, and her advice is thoughtful. She takes good care of her family and is never lazy. We spoke about the laziness and hardworkingness earlier on, so that's that. Her children praise her, and with great pride her husband says, there are many good women, but you are the best. Woo! Wow. Oh wow, this is so beautiful. Like, can you just imagine your children being so proud of you, and your husband even getting to a point of just praising you and saying that, I have seen many women out here, I have interacted with so many women out here, but to be honest, babe, you are the best. That must be very good. So the 9th point that I have, is a woman needs to be smart. even the Bible says her words are sensible and her advice is thoughtful. You can never give advice that's thoughtful if you're not a smart person. You need to invest in yourself. That's a 9th point. As a woman, you cannot afford to be a danda. Like, you know, what are they called? A bimbo. You cannot afford to be a bimbo. As a woman, you need to know your stuff. You need to be very, very well updated about what's happening in your world, currently in your society, in your locality, in your country, in the nation, in the region. You need to be very, very smart. You need to read a lot. And that's why I always say a woman needs to read. Not a woman alone. This applies, it cuts across board, but a woman needs to be very well read. Whatever and however you gather information, however you read, it's up to you, but you need to ensure that you're very well informed. So develop an attitude, or develop a habit of reading. Buy yourself some books. And I think I always say, you can, so many times we spend so much money on some things that are not even as important to our lives, but when you think about buying a book, or even investing in your mind, be it taking a class, be it paying to go back to school, be it learning a new skill, we tend to shy away from it. But as a woman, you cannot afford to do that. You need to be smart. You need to read. You need to invest in your medulla oblongata. You need to when you stand in front of people and you're giving advice, or when you're speaking, people need to see this person has content. Like, you know, have you ever had someone speak and you're just like, what did you just say? Like, did you have to speak? Did you have to say something? And I'll reference my other video where I was speaking about silence is golden. Like, don't be that kind of person who people just would rather see your pretty face and they don't want you to speak, because every time you speak, you don't speak any sense. So a woman needs to be smart. And the final point, my favorite. So verse 30 and 31. Charm can be deceiving and beauty fades away, but a woman who honors the Lord deserves to be praised. Wow. Show her respect, praise her in public for what she has done. I repeat verse 30. Charm can be deceiving and beauty fades away, but a woman who honors the Lord deserves to be praised. My final point, my final powerful point is, a woman needs to be God-fearing. Like, if you do not honor God, if you're not God-fearing, honestly, I can't even imagine how your life is. As a woman, you go through so many things. You're usually faced with so many temptations. You're usually faced with so many challenges. And if you do not have God, if you do not have an anchor in your life, you're not able to get past these challenges. You're not able to get past these situations of life. You're not able to have the wisdom. You're not able to have the grace. You're not able to be phenomenal. I think being God-fearing is everything, to be honest, and that's my personal experience. I think sometimes, and you know, one thing I always say, that the difference that Christians, the thing that people make a mistake is, when you say you're born again, or when you say you're a Christian, people tend to just look for the worst thing in you and say, why do you do this if you're a Christian? But you know, you need to remember that Christ came to save the lost souls. And being a Christian or being a born again person means that you acknowledge daily that you're a failure. I mean, you acknowledge daily that you failed God in one way or the other, and that's why you need a savior. You acknowledge that on your own you can do nothing, and you can be no one on your own, and that's why you need God in your life to be able to just help you through the seasons on the different situations of life. So I'm just here to tell you, sometimes we are so quick to judge other people. We are so quick to judge Christians and to just try and bring them down anytime they're just trying to shine for Christ or just be the light unto a dark world. We're usually so quick to do that. But I'm just here to remind you that, you know what, salvation is a very personal choice. Salvation is a very personal relationship with God. It's only you and your God who knows where you stand with the two of you. You get it? Like, you do not have the right to judge anyone. Like, you're not Christ. You did not die on the cross for me. I did not die on the cross for you. Christ did it for all of us. So He loves all of us equally, and as long as you've accepted him into your life, you are God-fearing. As long as you accept that on your own you cannot do anything and you cannot be anyone. That's what a God-fearing woman is. It doesn't mean that you will not sin. It doesn't mean that you will not say bad things. It doesn't mean that you will not gossip. It doesn't mean that you won't listen to secular music. No, it just means that you've acknowledged that, you know what, on my own I cannot be anyone. On my own I am just weak. I am just evil on my own, and that's why I need Jesus. That's why I need God to just help me through the situations of life. So that's the 10th thing. A woman needs to be God-fearing. And I think That's everything. And I think that's why even the verse finishes by saying, charm can be deceiving and beauty fades away, but a woman who honors the Lord deserves to be praised. Like, you can be pretty one day, the next day you get into an accident and your face is completely disfigured. You can be healthy one day and then the next day you're sick. You can be having very beautiful hair and then one day it's just all gone. But you see, all that will fade away, but what's in your heart, the relationship you have with God, can never be shaken. Like, as long as you're God-fearing, that's what we should speak about. Like, that's when people look at Sharon Ngugi, can they say that they see God through Sharon Ngugi? And that's a challenge to me, even as I challenge you out there. That's a challenge to myself. So yeah, let's aspire to be the Proverbs 31 woman. It's not very easy to do that, and you see, doing good is never easy, but may it always be a constant reminder in your mind. May it always be a constant reminder that, you know what, I can do it. If it's written in the Bible, it means God can give me the strength and the wisdom to be able to be that kind of woman to whoever is in my life, to my husband, to my boyfriend, to my friends, to my family, to my siblings. I can be able to be that. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I had so much fun, so much fun filming it. It was a bit of a different video, but at the end of the day, I always say, every time you come and watch my content, I want you to be inspired to live unapologetically. Live your life without regrets. Live your life to the best point that you can live your life, and just ensure that you're spreading light and spreading positivity out there in the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below here. Share this video with your family, share it with your friends, and let's just take Jesus to the world in whatever simple way we can do it. If it's in your social media pages, if it's a one-on-one experience you have with people out there, whatever way in which you can do it, let's just keep spreading love and sunshine everywhere we go. So thank you so much. Stay tuned for amazing content about life, about travel, about friendship, about love, about beauty, about all of that, because all of that encompasses who Sharon Ngugi is as a person, and that's what my channel is about. Sharon Ngugi, take on the world with me. So thank you so much. Yeah, stay safe, stay sane. Don't forget to live, love, and laugh. Till next time, goodbye.